Good afternoon and welcome to Direct from the Desk. My name's James Gerrish. It is Thursday afternoon, about half an hour into the market close. We've got the market trading up around 2.3%, 120 points, and it's been a reasonable week in terms of the markets, not in terms of aggregate or overall gains, but in terms of the way the market has traded, particularly on days where there's been selling that has started to take hold in the market. We've been buoyed by buyers coming back in, and the market overall has been edging higher. So 53.26 on the ASX 200 as I speak. So an encouraging week. It's been an encouraging week on a couple of fronts. So in terms of the virus statistics, we believe we've seen a peak here in Australia, and I'll put some charts in the afternoon note from our Chief Investment Officer over at Shaw and Partners, Martin Crabb, who speaks to that likely peak here in Australia. He also outlined some data around other countries and suggests that the US is nearing a peak in terms of new cases. So the data front in terms of the virus is getting more positive. That's obviously been positive for the market. We've also seen some more overall positive rhetoric coming out from the political spectrum. So Gladys Berejiklian, particularly in New South Wales, has started to talk about opening up or relaxing some of the restrictions that have been imposed. If you rewind the tape back, only a week or so ago, we're talking sort of 3 to 6 months in terms of the restrictions being in place. That is obviously a positive from a sanity perspective, but it's also a positive from the market's perspective. And on the market today, we're seeing those stocks that have really been hit hardest from these pretty harsh restrictions that have been in place bounce the most in terms of the market. So retailers have started to perform pretty well, and on the market today you've got the likes of Super Cheap Autos trading up 10%, Nick Scali's trading up 8%, JB Hi-Fi is trading up 5 or 6%. Of course, we added JB Hi-Fi to the Platinum portfolio this week. So you're getting better rhetoric from a political standpoint. If the restrictions don't last as long, that's obviously going to be a positive for the retailers. So on one hand, the COVID-19 situation is improving. The other aspect that I think is worthy of discussion is the ability of companies to raise equity or fresh cash in this market, whether that be equity or debt. This week, we've had a number of companies tap the market for fresh equity, and they've been successful in doing so. I think in April so far, we're about 9 days in, we've had 8 companies tap the market for fresh equity, plus we've had companies like Transurban, for instance, tap European bond markets with long dated debt for reasonable amounts of long dated debt at very attractive levels. So Transurban is a stock that we bought in the income portfolio recently. It's trading up nearly 9% today. There was a question on Transurban in the Monday report this week from Marvin. Marvin, I'm sorry I haven't got back to your question as yet. I will get there, but please take this as my apology. I've simply run out of time this week, but I will get to your question as soon as I possibly can, Marvin. So my sincere apologies around that. I just wanted to focus on the energy sector because I think it's something that is really interesting to us. We've got Santos and Beach in the Platinum portfolio. We've got Woodside in the income portfolio. So OPEC Plus is meeting tonight. So I think there's going to be a near-term catalyst for oil prices to move higher. I've often spoken about what actually is going to solve the oil price problem, and I think it's the oil price itself. So currently trading where it is, it doesn't work. So it doesn't incentivize new production to come online, but it also incentivizes a lot of production to be shelved, particularly that higher cost US shale production. So we're going to see lower production come out of particularly the US, where things are uneconomical. We're also going to see a response coming out of Saudi Arabia, Russia and OPEC Plus more generally. I don't expect a huge curtailment of supply, but it's going to be a lot of rhetoric and a lot of hoopla, and they're going to send the message that they're going to pull back production, and that should be enough to buoy prices in the near term. So Oil Search has come out this week with a pretty big raise, about $650 million at $2.10 per share. It was a about a 17% discount to the market. So Oil Search is doing that to reduce their gearing. They were rocking around with gearing at about 32-33%. It brings their gearing back to about 28%. They've also got some pretty onerous contracts up in terms of their PNG operations. So it's a little bit different to the other energy producers in that regard. If you want to compare gearing levels, so Woodside is sitting on about 13-14 times gearing. Santos is sitting on about 13 to 14% gearing. Santos is sitting around 28% geared. So that's where the Oil Search gearing ratio is getting to. And then Beach has got net cash on the balance sheet. So, I think the energy companies are reasonably well positioned given where the price of oil is. Obviously, they're going to be supportive if oil prices go higher. I think that is the case, and I think we're seeing, I think we've seen a low in the oil market, and the risk now is on the upside. So we're reasonably comfortable with our overweight positioning towards the energy stocks in the portfolio. A couple of other things catching my eye. So obviously, the market being bought into weakness today has been catching my eye. Volatility coming back is also catching my eye. We've also seen a stabilisation in global bond markets, which has been a positive, and that's underpinning the buying in the market. So, look, I just wanted to touch base before the Easter long weekend. We've got 4 days off, 4 days without the market trading. It's the longest period in the year where the market is closed. So I'm going to enjoy 4 days off. Just in terms of Market Matters reports over the weekend, we're not going to do a weekend report. We're going to do a more comprehensive one come Tuesday morning. So you get a more comprehensive report on Tuesday morning, but you won't get the standard weekend report over the weekend. From all the team at Market Matters, I just want to wish you a merry Easter, a happy Easter, I should say. It's going to be a very different Easter this year. We're all bunkered down in our homes. I'm doing a bit of camping in the backyard with the kids, fire, etc. So that should be an interesting Easter, a way to spend Easter. So I wish you a safe and happy Easter, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now.